Hey there natural beauties, today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on an everyday look using all of MG Natural's beauty products and makeup products. So I'm going to go straight in. I've already prepped my face and it's already been moisturized and hydrated. I'm going to go on with MG Natural's BB cream in the color Sand Beige, and this is it. I don't know if you can see it. You can see the color up here as well. I'm just going to pump a little bit of that onto my hands. And we're just going to put this all over the face, making sure you get into the hairline. You can go in circular motions, dabbing motions, little tiny strokes, whatever you're comfortable with, and blending that all in. I'm using MG Natural's multi-purpose foundation brush. It is really good, nice and easy and blends well. Now doing the jaw, and then just bring it down past onto the neck. Get your ears, and then wherever your top cuts off, just lightly blend it through. It doesn't need to be the same as on your face, as long as it just drags down there. Okay, now we're going to go in and use some concealer, the Airbrush Miracle Concealer Wand in the shade Medium Glow. It's a wind up, which is great. And we're just going to pop some on our problem areas. I like to do mine under, I don't like to put on a lot. And I'm just going to go in and just dab those. You can use the brush, which I probably will do in a minute, but blending that out and making sure you're pressing the product into the skin. Okay. Pressing. I don't have any eye primer on hand, so putting the concealer there acts as an eye primer. Pretty handy if you're in a rush as well. And just a little bit over with the brush, just to get it in there. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to go in with MG Natural's translucent powder. And we're just going to tap lightly like this on each eyelid. This will just set the lids and prep it for when we have eyeshadow. So we're just wanting to tap it in. Also decreases the lines and the creases that you get when you have product on the eyes. I don't know if any of you get that, but I experience it. If you put a little bit too much on, that's okay. You can just knock it off with a big fluffy brush. Alright, so that is nice and prepped. That's looking good. We're going to go in and do our eyebrows just quickly. We're only following our natural shape. And very simple. We're just following and just getting in these gaps. See these gaps that I have? We're just wanting to fill those. So I'll be using MG Natural's duo-ended brow brush. It's got a spoolie, and then if you can see that, a little brush at the end, it's angled. And I will be going in using the shade Brunette mineral brow styler, MG Naturals. And I'm only going to grab a little bit. I'm just going to knock a little bit off because it's quite pigmented. Now going into my brows, I'm just going to go into the gaps first. Just doing little light strokes wherever your natural brow is. And I have quite a big gap over here. And I'm growing my brows out. If you've been wanting to know why they're looking a bit off, yeah, I will get to those soon. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a tail just to balance out the face. I don't want to go too hard in it. I don't want to make my brows too harsh. Just enough to make them look put together. So some areas I'm just going to leave if I can't cover them up. I'm not going to do anything in the front because the front of your brow is supposed to be the softest and the lightest. If you want to do that, absolutely up to you. There are no rules. Okay, I'm just trying to fill these gaps. Best to use little amounts of product than use a lot, because once you use a lot you have to work with what you got and it can make it quite hard. Sometimes you need to start all over again, but when you are building it makes it a lot easier to see and you can stop. I'm using a spoolie now. I'm going in and I'm just brushing it through the product so it's a bit more even. Now you can still see a bit of my gaps, but I'm not looking for a solid brow. I'm wanting to stay as natural as possible. And it's a good time to just sort of put your brows to the way you want them to sit. You can grab some brow gel or a little bit of hairspray, it's totally up to you, and just comb that through so they will sit down and lay down the way you're wanting them. I'm going to leave my brows at that, and we're going to go in and give ourselves a bit of eyeshadow on the lids. Now all we're doing is we're using one colour and it will be in Warm Chocolate from MG Naturals, and I'm going to use the dual end as well. It's got an applicator brush side and then it's got a blending brush side. I'm going off the applicator and I'm going to grab a little bit, knock a little bit off, and all we're going to do is we're going to just place it on the lid like this. That's all you want to do, nothing fancy. Place it all over the lid. Now what you want to do is grab the blending brush and you're just going to go in window shield wipe motions and little circular motions like this, and you're going to blend that out. Really depends on how dark you want it with the amount that you put on. I put on quite a lot. You can go lighter than that, darker if you want. And the whole point of trying to blend your color out is to make it softer and more even and not as harsh. So going in and look up a little bit and you can see it's blending out a little bit. This takes time, but it's worth it. And step back, have a look. And you can keep blending until you're happy with it. I think brown is a really nice shade because you only need like the brown. That's all you need. You don't need any other colors. So blending it out is really quite pretty. Alright, I think I'm going to move on to the next one. Same, I'm just going to use whatever's on here and we're just going to cover the lid. Grab a little bit more if you need to. I did quite a lot on the other one. Okay, same thing, absolutely same thing. So you're just going to come over it a little bit if it's a bit uneven, and then you're just going to go sort of into your eye socket, if you can feel where that little dent is, and you're just going to go back and forth. When you're blending, it's better to hold it more so in the middle or at the tip. If you're like this, close to the bristles, it's more concentrated. You don't really get that room or that flexibility to blend things out the way you want them. So just going back and forth until you're happy. always step back and look. That looks nice. Okay. I think I'm done. If you want to go back in the other ones, feel free. Whatever your preference is. Okay. Now that we have our brows on, we're going to put a little bit of mascara on. The MG Naturals mascara in black. Very nutrient dense. Great for people who have irritated eyes or who suffer from sensitive eyes and find it hard to, you know, find a mascara that doesn't bother their eyes. So this is great. Oh, I always manage to do that. I don't do my bottom lashes simply because I just find it hits my cheeks. It hits because they're so long when I do them, and it just bothers me. Not only that, I find just doing the upper lashes gives you more of an open look naturally. And we're going to go in and do the other side. Done. Now we're going to go in and we're going to give ourselves a bit of colour with some blush. MG Naturals Mineral Blush in the shade Blushing Rose. This is probably about one of my favourite blushes I have used, and you'll see when it goes on. It is so good. So I'm also using the Mineral Veil brush. This is nice and fluffy, as you can see, and it blends really nicely. So we're just going to go in and take a little bit and tap the excess off because it is quite concentrated. I like to swish some on my wrist to knock extra because it picks up quite a lot. You're going to start from, we'll say, the apple of your cheek, and you're just going to go in upward circular motions all the way up to the temples. I like to go onto my forehead. So it just, it's so good. Go into the hairline as well. But you do not need a lot. It's, look at, yeah, you get it now, don't you? Okay, I'm gonna go with a little bit more and just knock some off of my wrists. We're going from the same place up, and you can see I've got a bit more than what I wanted there. Just gonna blend that out as much as we can. I like to put some up here. Coming up here. Pushing it into the hairline. I like to come on this side and to just sort of even it out. I might just make this one a bit darker. More. It's very pigmented. It's just like the eyeshadows. You don't need a lot, as you can see. I like to have a bit of a sun-kissed look. That's why I'm brushing it on the bridge of my nose, and I'm hitting the chin, and I'm coming up here as well. Totally up to you. I've seen people do it straight over from the cheek bridge and onto the nose. It just depends where you personally get hit by the sun. I get hit by the sun quite a lot on the forehead, and that's where I would go because I have quite a large forehead. Okay, now we're going to go in with the setting powder, the translucent MG Natural setting powder, and we're just going to set everything and then we'll do lips. So this is a very light setting. We're not working it in, we're just very lightly going in, guys, and just If you have anything that needs to be blended out a bit more, now's a good time to do so. And just a little bit underneath the chin because you've put BB cream there, and just dragging it down. It just ties everything together. Okay, once that's done, we are going to go on and do our lips. We are using the Mineral Lip Glaze in Blushing Berry. This is quite a pretty color. And I'm going to be using the lip brush from MG Naturals as well. This is the color, it's so nice. And just applying it. Looks like that. It's quite pretty. Okay, so this is the final look. This is something I would use to go out and pay my bills, go out and see a mate and have lunch. It's very quick, very simple when you go to do it in the mirror. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. I will also put in another screenshot of me with my hair done. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like this, please like, comment and subscribe to see more content. But for now, I shall say see you later.